we see Jose striving to acquire for himself the basis of a sound education, and what is more, trying to pass this on to his buddies, Carmen and Jojo, as well. One is therefore not surprised to see him spend his vacation poring over all sorts of books. And even though he does at times wonder about the purpose and significance of what he is studying and the examination for which he is preparing, it is clear that a sound education marks the beginning of a new life, away from the slow death he saw consuming his grandmother, a life such as the returning Sorbonne graduate is about to pursue. The sequel to this novel shows Jose on his way to France, where he furthers his education, the natural result of his success at secondary school. Non-whites usually choose these safe professions, law, medicine, teaching, etc., prior to returning to form part of a budding professional middle class. It is unfortunate that the note of optimism on which this aspect of the novel ends is cruelly belied by the realities of the contemporary situation in the French West Indies, as well as many other islands as a whole. The very education to which the youth aspires still serves to no avail in the face of rampant unemployment and unemployability. In many instances, both educated and uneducated are either under or unemployed. The portrayal of the lower class, the group that receives the brunt of Zobel's attention, is the lowest on the social hierarchy. It is this group that works hardest, but for the smallest gains. It is also the group that looks around for something to relate to in the society. Even Africa is a distant dream, and not a reality except for the dances and other cultural vestiges that have survived. It is noticeable that the only time that the blacks are openly happy and carefree for a while is when they dance the lagia on weekends. Apart from these times of festivity, there is little else to rejoice over. Life is a constant struggle for the adults, and the only other respite is religion. Christianity provides the hope that things will eventually work themselves out. Although if that fails, there are always their African-oriented beliefs. These appear in the form of powerful superstitions, but are nonetheless part and parcel in the form of the everyday existence of the blacks. One reality of life among the lower class blacks is highlighted in the novel is the power of the women in the absence of the father figure. In both crucial periods of Jose's schooling, he is without the guidance and protection of a father, and consequently, the women in his life assume very important roles. This fact makes the novel interesting comparable to those that portray similar situations outside of the confines of the French West Indies. Alright, so that is the end of our introduction, written by Keith Q. Warner, University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, Trinidad and Tobago, June 1979. So while that does end our introduction, before we do get into the novel itself coming up in videos that will be done shortly, I want to bring your attention to the glossary that is on the screen. Now, while the book has been translated into English, there are some phrases that did not transfer over. And a lot of these phrases are Creole in nature. So take a few minutes, familiarize yourself with these glossary terms. I will also post them at the bottom of each of the videos once we actually get into the content of the novel, because there are quite a few of them. All right? Now, I'll probably be making about one video per week about Black Shack Alley, so please make sure that you like and subscribe and you are on the lookout for these videos. I'm excited for us to start this journey together in the rural areas of Martinique. This book will do a great job of bringing a lot of the themes of colonization and imperialism that we do see across the world to light. We're going to see impacts on race, we're going to see impacts on class, we're going to see impacts on religion as well. And for those of you that are studying for the AP exam, while Black Shack Alley itself, the content is going to take place mostly in the 1930s, which is no longer going to be on the test. But a lot of the themes of the book are going to relate to a lot of the stuff we learned about in Unit 6, which was all the reactions to imperialism. So, those of you that are using this for the AP exam, a lot of good stuff is going to be coming. And with that, this is Mr. V signing off. Thank you for watching Mr. V's History Lessons. Bye-bye, guys.